And yes, welcome to the spaceship, everybody. Welcome to the great transition. How are you, brother?
I'm good. Wow, a lot of friends joined from around the world already. I think I saw Finland, Egypt, Washington
Ah,
State, Spain, Quebec,
Miami.
fire. All right.
Yes, yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes. Welcome to the great transition, everybody. We should remind you that if you are here for the first time, then welcome. Welcome to the great transition. If you're watching the recording, also welcome to the great transition. If you are not familiar with what Seth and I are doing here, then I don't. How would you present what we're doing here, Seth? What's our purpose
Putting me on the
here?
spot. Putting
Yeah,
me on the
I
spot.
I kind of am. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Mancini's saying Joseph's too loud, Seth is too quiet. Is that Mike is too hot for soft mechanical elves is saying your volume
Well,
is clipping.
all right. I'll take a look. I'll take a look now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean
Az
it. I
Az
didn't
Al
mean it.
Sharash is saying too
That's
much
it.
gain on the
I
South.
fixed it. They're absolutely right. But now it's fixed. Sorry.
Okay, can you make your volume a little louder though?
No. You are good. I was too loud. Now I'm good.
Uh, Okay, well, that was cool because we had friends from all over the world who who just chimed in on that. Okay,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? All
Yeah,
right, okay, sound is
guys,
good
just
now.
tell
Thanks,
me.
everybody.
Yeah, just tell me just to confirm that my voice is now
It takes a
is
globe
yeah,
to get a
okay.
soft audio correct. Okay, good.
Exactly. Mm.
Um,
Okay, so what are we
okay.
doing here, Seth?
Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, so in general, if you ask me off script, while we're going for a walk to the coffee shop or just, going for a walk on the trails, like what is this all about? This is, I would say this is about education and an uplifted spirit, a place where people can feel a certain kind of mood and also a place to receive a certain kind of education. I would say that's what we're doing here.
That's not
How's
bad.
that?
I mean, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. It seems like, I wouldn't say it's an elevator pitch,
No, no,
but it's
it's not a, that's exactly not what it was. I
but
didn't
it's
prepare that. I'm just saying,
definitely no, it's not bad. It's not bad for like a, person stopping you on the way to like the supermarket or something, and he goes like, "Hey Seth, what's your show about even? Like what's that podcast, for?" And you go, "Okay, like it's about education and blah blah blah, and I got to go get some groceries." That's not
yeah,
bad,
and I'd be
man.
like, wow, sounds like Seth has a really boring podcast.
So I would say this podcast is about going into the spaceship that is the connection that we find beyond all our differences. That's what we're doing here. We're finding a connection between all humans. And for that, the virtual infrastructure is just works just fine because we don't care about politics, religion, culture, or any other differences between us. We want to find that human connection that lies at the very core of our humanity. And with it, we want to soar beyond the conflicts that we see in the world today and try to then look at the conflicts that we see in the world today and understand what actually is happening here. And then maybe we'll even identify that nature has a hand in everything that's happening to us humans on this little blue dot in space. So welcome to the spaceship. Um,
I give you a little visual on
but
what's happening.
Okay,
You ever seen the you saw the movie The Titanic in the
I
90s?
I
You're not a
officially
sentimental guy, so you
I
probably didn't
I
see it.
officially did not see it,
Okay, I know you're not
and
sentimental at
and
all, so
I
you didn't
had
enjoy
I
it.
had more than a few opportunities. I
Okay, so
declined
let
to
me tell you
watch it.
something. It's, you know what it is. It's about a big ship. They thought it
Yeah,
could
I
never
know, I
sink. They
know.
didn't prepare for it to sink, and
Right.
then it hits an iceberg and it sinks, and
And
that's a lot of people died because they
and
weren't prepared.
they kiss, they
But
die, everyone's sad,
forget
lots of
about Leo
money.
and what's her name kissing on the
Right.
front of the ship.
Okay.
That's, I'm not talking about that part.
Okay.
Um, um, but there's an interesting scene, and I don't know how factual it is, but it really points something out about human nature, that as the ship is going down, everyone's trying to do their part, do their thing. right? The musicians are like, you see them all carrying their cellos and their
Mm.
instruments like out from underneath. They don't know where they're going. Everyone thinks they're going to probably get on a lifeboat, and so at that point, that's still going on. One of the musicians all of a sudden sees this is a failing proposition. This is not going to turn out well, and
Mm.
he just starts to play his instrument, and a couple other musicians start playing. No, it's probably just Hollywood, but it's very good kind of
I'm
representation of
with you,
what's going
man.
on.
I didn't see
So a
the
few,
movie. I
so a few
actually
of the
didn't see Titanic, so I'm with you. Yeah.
okay, so a
Go on.
few of the musicians. So just imagine the concept: the ship is going down.
Yeah.
There's not enough life jackets. There's not enough lifeboats, and so some guys start just playing beautiful music.
Okay.
So the pace of the water and the pace of the frenzy are going like this, and these
Mm-hmm.
guys are just right. The intensity is inside the
Mm-hmm.
piece, but the tempo and the piece is just, they're just in that. And then they
Okay.
flash to this other scene where an older man and woman, maybe in their 70s or 80s, they're dressed in their evening wear. They were probably at dinner or on their way to dinner, and their room is filling up with water, and they lay down on the bed together, and the husband is holding his wife in bed like they probably did for the last 60 years together every night,
Mm.
and he just holds her, and she's shaking and scared. There's nothing they can do. And this is kind of like what
Okay. I buy that
humanity
scene.
isn't.
So, but I mean,
Humanity is
it's a
in a
cool
state of
concept.
complete.
Okay.
Humanity is in a state of complete deterioration right now. Complete deterioration. Okay, this
Okay.
show is about education. Now that you you held my feet to the fire on what we're doing here, humanity is in a state of deterioration. However,
Yeah.
we can still have, musicians who are playing, and some guys, he's in his beautiful clothing, and he's still just laying there holding on. It's all of these things are still going on, so we still feel like we don't recognize yet, or even if we do recognize it's out of our control, maybe that's also happening. We recognize that this situation is just out of our control. So in the meantime, let me just try and get a rocket to Mars, or in the meantime, let me try and make a bunch of money off of Bitcoin, or in the
Hmm.
meantime, let me you know break some window in some shop, or in the meantime, I don't know what, just sit at home and watch Netflix. I don't know what to do
But
because
I don't know if I buy the comparison though, because in
it's
that
not, it might not be a
scene.
perfect comparison. The point was
Okay.
the ship is sinking. Yeah, I
Okay.
think the musician was maybe, who knows what the intentions were there, but the point is that the ship is sinking, and we're just trying to hold on to something that. Okay, here you go. Is there sound, Chris?
This is from, yeah, this is Chris from
That's
the
from the
Titanic.
movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all like it's chaos. So
How did he got
um,
that? That's there's probably a GIF or something. Okay. Yeah.
okay, so the point is that we are on a ship, spaceship Earth. Okay,
Yes.
and um, we won't be able to eradicate all of humanity, and we won't be able to blow up the entire Earth. We can definitely nuke it, and we can definitely lose a few billion. By the way, great way to start off 2021 with this topic, huh? But it, we won't just be able to eradicate. What will happen after that mess is that the ones who remain will have to start over again. We are here now, and we need to understand what is the situation that we are in. Okay. What is the reality of where we are now, and what is our opportunity? Because we still have an unbelievable opportunity to flip everything. And in fact, it can all just be like a great reveal, and everything that happened up to now could just be setting up this great reveal of how incredible everything we can be. We're all connected now. We can produce enough food for everybody. We can get a message out to everybody. There's enough houses and healthcare. There's plenty of everything for everyone. But without the right education now, we will continue. as after this virus will come another virus, and then nature will hit us with something else. So it's about education first and foremost. It's not trying to go out and stop some, like every Hollywood show movie. We're gonna like, we're gonna stop some asteroid. One man is gonna fly into space and stop an asteroid. No, it's gonna take all of us together in different concentric circles. First, the ones who are uh, hip to it, the ones who are engaging in it, and then the wider circles around that, and the wider circles around that, and then the widest circles when we're talking about just the masses of people. They consume. They don't have opinions of their own. This is not a personal jest or whatever. If they're told to eat McDonald's, they eat McDonald's. If they're told to watch this Disney show, they watch that Disney show. There's a big percent of the population that is like the children in the family. They go along with whatever's happening. So if we, the ones who have the access to the correct education, to understand that we're all one, that we're all one family, that we're all connected to this whole system, and we need to start behaving like that. If we do that, then that ripples through and the whole family gets taken care of. And instead of the ones in the outer rings of the circle either starving to death in the street or sitting at home jacked up on sugar, playing murder video games all day long, they'll be fed something healthy. They'll consume content that fills their mind with connection. And in this way, we can move into a year that we can rise together and flip this thing over. Or it can be a very, well, either way, there's going to be a lot of pressure this year. Asaf, where are we going with this? I'm
No,
not
no,
sure.
I just wanted to see where you're going, but I agree with where you're going, but let's back up for a second and let's think about
Okay.
what's the turning point. Because I thought that that scene you brought to life from the Titanic was interesting, but then I thought, okay, but are we in that self-reflective, self-conscious, self-scrutinizing kind of state of mind where the way you described it, again, I didn't watch the movie, but it doesn't doesn't matter at all right now. What matters is that you've described a situation where people know the ship is sinking, they know they're going to die, they know that the cause is lost and all is lost and there's nothing to do, and that puts themselves in a self-reflective state where they just recognize that they should kind of let go and just enjoy whatever they still can, right? That's the kind of, and that gives you a certain kind of calmness within the storm, which is the kind of cool.
I was saying a
Uh,
little different I was picking up on something else. I was just saying that the ship's going down and I've got no control over it. I don't know what to do. So if, the musician played music, somebody else can do something else. We're in a situation here where that I was using as a as
no,
to
but I'm saying it's interesting. Because if you try to compare what is different, what's the difference between the people on the Titanic and human beings in 2021, is there's something interesting in knowing that all is lost, which puts you in a certain kind of calmness because you have nothing. There's hopelessness and helplessness, and this powerlessness actually leads to calmness, because if there's nothing I can do, might as well just let it go and let it be. But we're in a situation where, are we even identifying that the ship is sinking? And plus, you just said that it's not really, even if it's sinking, it's not like there's nothing we can't do.
okay,
There's
so
nothing to
our
do.
friends,
So
so we here, the friends who are with us, we have something special. Okay? The world that we exist in, we're discovering now. The more we watch mainstream media and the more we watch the story outside, the more and more our reality becomes solidified and separate. But the more we educate ourselves into what kind of system we really live in, this reality becomes fluid. This reality does not become physical anymore. Of course, we live in a reality and we sleep and eat and all those things, but the reality doesn't become physical anymore. All of a sudden, we start to develop these other kind of senses. We start to see patterns in everything that's happening here. We start to understand how history is cyclical. We start to understand who we are, where we came from. We start to understand the wheel of the transformation of form, meaning that this body comes to life and then goes back into the earth, and comes to life and goes back into the earth. But there's this process of development through the generations, and we start to perceive a totally different reality. And by starting to feel and see this different reality, then everything that's going on for us begins to shift, and we discover that I say this to my boys all the time. 90% brains, 10% muscle. Like when they're trying to like figure out how to open a jar, it's just like bang the top of the jar a few times on the counter or with the knife, and then boom, it opens real easy.
Really? That's how you do it?
That's how you
No,
do it.
no, because you don't know
You
the
just
hot.
need to know.
There's the hot water method. The hot water
Okay, so
method.
in New Jersey, we don't have the hot water method. Either you
You
bang around the edge with the knife, and then it opens easy, or you bang it on the countertop
No,
and
you
and
throw
then
it in.
it
You
opens.
put it in hot water for a few seconds, and then you take it out. You
Okay,
sub,
so the point is if you
and
understand
then it.
what's going on, you don't need to, So
Hmm.
so if we understand the system, if we start to feel the system, then we understand what forces are cooperating with us. And we understand where is that one. You remember in Star Wars, you probably saw this movie when they had to fly, what was the big bad guy's globe thing, and the ship had to go through the small thing and drop one little rocket down in the middle or something, and then it blew up the Death Star, whatever it was.
Okay, I did see some of Star Wars, not all of them, and I
Oh my
was
God, bro.
and a
You
very
need an
long
education. You need a
time ago,
cultural education.
long
Yeah.
time
Okay.
ago,
Anyway,
and I am
there's a
not a
big
fan. I'm not
giant
a
bad
huge Star
guy.
Wars fan. I liked
Okay. So
Spaceballs though, the parody that was cool.
Spaceballs was funny.
That was really
Um,
funny. Yeah.
okay. So John Candy was great in that.
Yeah.
So there's a big giant bad guy. And the way that they needed to kill the bad guy was one ship had to just know exactly where to go. There's just one place. If you just did it in the one place, then the whole bad guy's world blows up. Okay. So the point is, we spend so much time and energy making efforts in places that will not give us the result that we want. And if we learn where and understand the system we're in and what forces are working on us and where we can make that correct action,
Yeah, there's a
then we have.
good there's a great story actually that hits that point exactly. But the old sailor or something like that. Anyway, a giant ship
Yeah, we
stopped
told the story
working.
here.
Yeah, we did we?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that's a really good one. You got to know where to tap. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to know where to hit. Um, Listen, man, we had this illusion. Now I understand that that we're gonna talk about education, but I don't know if we just decided to go a different
No,
way,
no,
or
education is good. Let's do it. Let's do it because we can tie all of this
well, I'll
together.
tell you what's on my mind. Look, today my wife tells me, this is a couple hours ago. She goes like, so tomorrow we're not sending, our my boy and girl. So I gotta write like a 9 year old and a almost 9 year old and almost 6 year old. So she goes like, we're tomorrow, and I got a little baby, but she's not going to school anyway. So she's going like, okay, we're not gonna send them to. I think, or maybe she said just my boy. I hope she's not listening. Anyway, definitely my boy. Not sure
You were definitely
about my.
listening to her, whatever she said.
So So
Ali, he
definitely.
was listening to you. I know
No,
he was. His
don't
intention was good.
don't
Even if
get
he
me
wasn't
more
actually listening, his intention was good.
don't get me more in trouble than I am. I may have put on the autoresponder. It's possible, but I still got when you even when I turn on the autoresponder, I'm still getting some of the information. It's getting in there. It's just
Oh, sure,
not
I understand.
properly.
I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Maria says you
So
were not listening.
so okay, no, seriously. Definitely my boy is not going to school tomorrow.
My boy's probably definitely not
No, no,
going.
no. He's definitely. I'm just not sure about whether my daughter is going to kindergarten tomorrow. But I think it was just about him. So
This
it
is
was just
COVID
about him.
related?
Is this COVID related? Yes,
Okay.
because it turns out that in his school, and at this point I was already like turning off the autoresponder and going back into the conversation and like actually like responding. So so it turns and asking questions and all that. So it turns out that in his school he's on the third grade, right? So in the first grade they found someone with COVID. In the second grade they found someone with COVID. In the fourth grade they found someone with COVID. So somehow they just COVID just skipped the third grade, and my wife said, okay, we're not sending him to school tomorrow. Like it's a matter of like days or hours until someone gets infected there, and so on. So once again, as of tomorrow, he's gonna be here the whole day. We actually talked. We had an interesting. You know what? I didn't plan to talk about this, but this is relevant. Tell me what you think of this. We had lunch today, and we talked about this whole thing, and I'm already like in the conversation and actually listening to all the words, and we were talking about how my wife said she was like, okay, uh, like telling my son Zohar, or Abraham in his English sounding name. She goes like, okay, you're gonna be here the whole day. I'm gonna be here the whole day. She runs a daycare from home, right? That we have a daycare here. Uh, I need to be focused on the kids in the daycare, and we have to, you get upset sometimes. You can get really like upset, get crazy, and all that. We have to see that we communicate with each other properly. and and then we actually did like, and I said yes, and took like the father role kind of, to my hands, and said, okay, let's play a game. Let's do an exercise right now. I'll tell you, I'll tell you something that you might not like hearing, and let's see how you respond. And then what we did is I told him, why is your room not clean? Why is your room messy? Something like that. And I was like, so it was really funny. I was like playing, the
Mm-hmm.
angry kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dad.
Nice.
And first time he actually, like, just from the habit, hearing that kind of like annoying
Yeah.
tone, he responded with an annoying tone. We were playing a game, and then I told him, okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And then I said, and I didn't laugh. I was like, what's going on with your room? Like something like that. Mom said you got to clean it. It's not clean. What's going on? And and then he goes, okay, like, just, second time, just kind of thought
Yeah.
about it. And then I told him, hey, try to ask me a question instead of try to ask me a question with a calm tone. Let's see what you come up with. And then he said, um, okay, Daddy, I hear you, but why are you angry? And then all of a sudden,
Mm.
like the whole dynamic, he kind of understood for a second there. I don't know how long it will hold, but he understood for a second there that how much we are creatures of habit. You kind of saw that
Yeah.
in a 9-year-old. All of a
Yeah.
sudden he was like, wow, because I was doing like that role, and he at first did what he's used to doing, and then suddenly he like just kind of saw it from outside. And it's an interesting thing, man. I just think about, I don't think that example is a perfect educational example. I just think it's an interesting test. But what it does make me think of is just how much our kids truly, really need to be taught about human relations.
Oh
No
yeah.
one's teaching that. No one's teaching that, man. No one's actually goes into, here's our psychology, here is our nature, here is our habits, here is what happens when we feel threatened. We tend to defend ourselves. Here are some communication skills we need to work on. Here are some tips from even like simple, positive psychology tips that can make you calmer during the day. No one's teaching kids how to
I'm not sure.
be in
I'm not
human
sure if this is
society.
okay, and
You know? Yeah.
you may fire me after this. I'm not sure if this is okay to
Try
say.
me. Try
Um,
me.
yes, thank you, Chris. So this is called a. I just asked Chris to find a picture of this thing. This is called like a
Okay.
bully bob or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
We
okay,
had one of the in the gym I used to
okay.
go to.
So my teenage
Chris
boys
knows. Yeah. Hmm.
sometimes they get really angry at each other and want to beat the crap out of each other. So in our house, um, we're constantly talking about love and connection. No, we're boys, so we talk about a lot of things, but
Uh-huh.
they know that my gig here in this house is that we're going to love each other. But sometimes they want to kill each other. Um, and so I got this thing, this like bully Bob dummy, and I put it in the basement, and it's really
Hmm.
helpful with my younger son when he wants to, because the older son can kind of outsmart the younger one because he's just he's got more years on earth and he just knows how to push buttons better.
Hmm.
The younger
Wait, so
one,
older is 16, younger is 14.
14, yeah, so the younger
Okay.
one
Hmm.
resorts to,
Right.
he could just
Right.
he
Yeah.
just wants to attack. So I got this thing and I grab him, we go down to the basement, and he beats the crap out of this thing for a few minutes. And
Hmm.
then we come upstairs and it's all gone. All
Hmm.
of that stuff, his hatred for his brother, it's all gone. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, here's an
Yeah.
orange juice. Oh, you guys want a seltzer,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like cookies for everyone. It's
Yeah.
it's over. And if we just started to understand, like you're saying, some kind of real education, what are these forces inside of me, right? Because otherwise, the younger one punches the big one, and the big one punches this. And if they don't stop, then dad needs to come in and punish them. And then there's consequences that could last 2 weeks. You get your
Yeah.
phone taken away for
Yeah.
weeks, and you go to your bed now, and it's a whole ripple effect. And we think about that in life, right? It turns into a
Hmm.
war, or it turns into a bad election,
Yeah.
or it turns into
No.
whatever. When you just understand the mechanisms at work
Yeah.
here and how to discharge them and how to work with the forces.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. And
So you're not going to fire me for
no,
saying
no,
that
no,
I
no,
let my kids
no, no.
punch a dummy?
First of all, honest to God, you can ask Ali. We are talking about getting something like that for my boy
So we'll have to do
for
an
the
episode how
last
two guys who
couple of
talk about peace
months.
and unity all the
And
time are also.
if she's listening right now, I have no idea if she's listening today, but if she is, then it's I'm gonna be in trouble because we're talking about getting something like that for him for a few months, and we just didn't get around to it. Just didn't have time. I think I was supposed to research which one is the best one to get for his age. So, because anyway, there's a big hole I just dug. And went right into it.
Not only don't you
But
listen to your wife, but also
no, no, seriously though, the I see no problem with it at all. I think this has nothing to do with it's not going against positive connections in any way. It
beating
goes
the crap
it
out of a rubber dummy in the basement is
no,
not
no.
against
We
peace in the
need
world.
no, because first of all, it's not. Is it violent? Is it violence? Okay, you can say the action is violent, you know, but this is not trying to hurt someone else. This is exhausting the beastly nature in you so you can
Yeah.
make room for the human to think
Yeah.
clearly.
Exactly.
This is what's
Exactly.
happening. You are you we this is again, this is part of the problem. As kids, we are not taught. No one teaches us that we're built from several layers of existence, of perception, of cognition and habit. And sometimes, like, look, we have a, oh boy, there's too much wife stuff I'm going into today. I'll say half of what I wanted to say. Okay, my wife knows there's like, we know there's a rule in the house that food has to come in into this, to this body, in order for peace to dwell. This is one of the
Yes.
rules. Okay, I gotta stop here. I gotta stop here. But so the why, because it's very clear that when I am hungry and
You're a jerk.
I don't behave the same. I don't have the same patience, capacity to think, ability to withstand pressure. I just need to eat. I
Is it
need to
any
eat,
wonder that
and then
people
I can think. It's the
is it any
same
wonder
thing.
people are rioting in the streets? Is there any wonder that people are frustrated? They have all of these unknown passions and forces working inside of them without the education to understand how to discharge all of this. And nature gave us all of this energy in order to discharge it in a way that we can use it.
And it's so funny, because also, we're talking about spirituality and spiritual uh, development at times. And people think of spiritual people as this idea of just people who sit in a lotus pose all day, and they have to wear white, probably white, should be some sort of a gown or a whatever, like a, what do you call it?
Yeah,
And
robe.
they don't curse, they don't get angry, they don't get, they're just tranquil and namaste
I
like the
mostly
whole
wear blue
day.
and I curse, by the way.
What?
I mostly wear blue and I curse.
so so and that is such a misconception of understanding that there's different layers of for the human, you know and on the very basic level, the rudimentary level, the level that we start from, we are animals.
No, no,
And
no. The very basic layer is even less than that, is vegetative,
sure,
or even less than that.
even less than
There's
that.
also, because if you
Yeah.
follow the brain, how the brain developed,
Mm,
right? There's the part at the top of the spinal cord, which is responsible for temperature regulation, food, sex, all that stuff.
mm.
And then only at the front, that's what we share, that changed from monkeys a couple million years ago, or stuff, whatever it was.
Yeah,
So
the
we have all
frontal
of these
lobe, the
different
prefront, and
processes,
the yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
there's and we had these other ones for millions of years. These new ones are pretty new. So
Mm-hmm.
we have all of these tendencies that come to us without us being aware of it at all. We need to
Yeah.
understand who we really are. Who is Patricia? Who is Maria? Who is David? Who is
Who are
Isoki?
you, people? Who are
Who
you?
are you? And what are you doing here?
Oh man, no, but look, this is a serious issue. I mean, I'll admit that I'm always trying, like just like that little exercise we did today at lunch, or my wife and I we're always trying to like complement and add and augment the education of our children. And my wife's amazing in everything that has to do with educating little children. Like she's just like, she I don't know, she can speak to babies and negotiate with little children, um up to a certain age. but but
You didn't have to say that.
I need to
You
win
could
some
have just
points
ended with a
some points
compliment.
back here. Okay. Oh boy, not a good show for me today. But anyway, um, I'll admit that I always feel like I'm not doing enough. I always feel like it's very hard in our world with the flood of media and social media and video games and school. And even though we're very very different from your any average kind of family. Screen time is very limited, and what goes into the kids' brains is very limited. They read a lot and all that. But um still, it feels like swimming against the current. It's very hard. We gotta go. There has to be a true massive revolution of education in
There was
in the
there was
world today.
we're
Like
okay,
massive.
so I
Hmm.
started out the show on a high note saying that we're in a state of complete deterioration. um, the issue we have is that even the teachers, we talked about this so many times that you spend 12 years learning math. How many years do you learning how to relate to someone, or
Yeah,
even
no,
deal with
that that's exactly, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's so we have an sorry, I gotta rent, gotta vent and rent a little bit. We
yeah.
have we have an educational system that is literally designed from the 19th century, pretty much. That's insane. That's insane. The industrial revolution came. They needed workers. They came up with how to a way to separate the peasants from the farmers, from the boy farmers, and start putting them in some production line that can produce workers. And the nuts and bolts of the system haven't changed
To this
for
day, yeah.
200 years. For 200 years. That's ridiculous. If it, and now with COVID, when that system is kind of shutting down, because of the virus, it's like the opportunity. We have to see it as an opportunity. We have to see it. It's clear that the educational system needs to go through a massive change. I don't think there's even a debate.
There
There's
was
no
there was a story
incentive. There's no big
there was
enough
a story
incentive.
this
Yeah.
past week about this teacher. She's on union, like a teachers union, meaning she has like a
Yeah.
voice. She's probably it's an elected position, or from among her peers.
Mm.
And she was saying that schools should be shut down. It's not safe for the students. It's not safe
Hmm.
for the teachers. And then she voted that schools should be shut down and they should be virtual. And here's the kicker: on her personal Instagram page,
Hmm.
she posted herself in the Caribbean, uh, talking about where she was going for. Now, I'm sure she's a nice woman. She looks like a nice woman. She looks friendly, um, but on the one hand, she was posting about how the schools should be closed. It's not safe. On the other hand, she was talking about what seafood she's going to get at the restaurant in the Caribbean that night. And so the point is not about this woman, but the point is that everybody is an animal who only cares about themselves, and it's not anybody's fault. That's how we're made. But it's time now to rise to be a human. And what does it mean to be a human? It means to understand you should have vacationed remotely. Yeah, right. So she was saying you should do your school remotely. She's saying it's not safe to be in person. You should do your school remotely. So someone said to her, you should have viewed the Caribbean remotely. So
Wow. It-
so the point is that if the people who are teaching our kids are also thinking of themselves first only, right? If they're still living in that, is what leads to this state of deterioration. It's not any one person. It's not that somebody did something bad. What do you expect of this woman to do? She's running the exact software she was given, and that's what everyone's doing.
yeah.
Nobody is doing anything but running the software that's installed on their hardware.
Dude,
Okay,
you know
what
what
we're
I yeah, go ahead.
no, tell me.
You know what I thought when I saw that picture just now?
Yeah.
I ran into an article a couple of days ago. I haven't read the whole thing, but the headline was just shocking, and I read just a little bit, and I didn't want to get in there because I have a daughter, that two actually. Um, there is a trend. There is, like, the numbers show like a drastically growing trend. Maybe Chris can find something. The article was from some professor, uh, from some surgeon, plastic surgeon, in it was in Israel. So it was an article in Hebrew. So Maybe Chris can find something in English here. Anyway, he was talking
You can also
about
Google
there,
translate it to English if
there's
you
a
open a Google.
trend, there's a growing trend in the Western world of youth. The ages go down, and the amount of young people who want to do plastic surgery and plastic injections is climbing up like crazy. Now that doctor says um, doing until the age of 25, doing any kind of plastic injection or plastic surgery doesn't even make sense from a medical perspective. Your muscles are still not at the age where they're tired. They're just, they're still like building up collagen or collagen. How do you say that?
I think it's
Collagen.
collagen.
Yeah, collagen is still, is still building up. There's like, it makes no sense at all from a medical perspective to even think about that at the age of 25. And his job became, he describes his situation as a plastic surgeon, like, became to be an explainer for these kids, to tell them why they shouldn't do this. And
Mm.
he's just doing this now on a regular basis, because the trend, he's one of those people who are doing these things, and more people, young people, are going to them. Now think about that situation. For a kid to want to do that, that means they need to be under great pressure to
That
want to
means
do
they
that.
were educated to think that the way that they are, the way that nature made them after billions of years is bad, and that they need
And
to
that they
change it.
must do something to cover their imperfections. They must do something to change their external appearance to match what they're seeing in the Instagram filters and whatever, that kind of thing.
Actually, the way
And
you just described it, the inner process there is kind of a correct process. The way that it's going about is completely bastardized and disgusting and corrupted. Meaning, I am presented a view in media of an ideal, and I want to go to any length to become like that. That's something that could be beautiful, except it's completely on its head and it's completely opposite.
hmm.
So Isoke said, "What can we?"
No,
Isoke
it's
asked the question.
our social nature is being exploited and abused. This is what's
Yeah,
happening here.
yeah.
And again, dude, it comes back to kids not learning about the different layers of themselves. They don't understand themselves. We don't understand what it means to be a human, so we can't build ourselves as conscious, capable, competent humans to deal with life and to deal with other people. We need to understand that we have a social nature, and that the media is taking advantage of it, and advertising is creating brands that bond with our frailties, and with our
Insecurities.
insecurities and all that. We need to understand how we actually function
So
in or
this is
you know
the
yeah.
this is the I cut you off like 5 times today. This is the purpose of bringing up that Titanic example of the musicians, because um, we're getting to a point where, so at first we were educated in the farmers' childrens and everyone were educated in order to learn how to read and write, and
Mm.
then everybody was educated in order to make it into university, and now we're educated for what reason I'm not sure, but every kid is on his phone 24/7, and every kid feels inner distress, feels discontent. He feels um, just so uncomfortable on the inside. What is this?
I don't know. This Chris just threw the study. Ah, okay, he found something. This study lays. I actually have another point about this. So
Okay,
it's
go
it's good
for it.
that he brings it up. This study lays the foundation for describing the association between self-esteem, social media, and photo editing application use. Yes, I'm telling you, these filters have a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with it, because you put a certain filter on your face, on your body, whatever it is. You don't want to look at how you're looked with, how people see you without it. You know, this is the issue. You begin to develop a dependency. We can't really see you that well right now. You develop a dependency on these things. Yeah. And perceptions of cosmetic surgery, which can help
You
guide.
opened up.
We see you very small right now because we see
Oh,
the
okay.
screen though, but you can bring it up back later. Anyway, let's read what Chris highlighted here. So the study lays a foundation between the so and so, which can help guide future patient physician discussions regarding surgical outcomes and expectations, the researchers concluded. Despite having an initially positive effect on self evaluation, the propensity of data seem to suggest that in the long term, self approved photographs posted to social media have a negative effect on users. There you go. Thank you, Chris. That's and you know what? And here's the other part. Okay.
What? I saw
No, it's
piggies in the world and I want to
you want to be
get
one.
fit. I want to fit in.
The funny thing is, if
Is there a
all of
problem
us
with
did
that?
that, if that would be, if that would be the thing, no, dude, seriously, you're kidding? What the duck face that became like a trend that every all those little kids are into? I don't get that. I honestly don't get that. Like, is it because we're too old, or what?
I'm not sure.
Like what's it's ridiculous. It's like, but I get how it becomes, once it becomes a trend, it becomes important because it doesn't matter what it is. It matters that it touches on your social insecurities. That's the only thing that matters. And what I wanted to say is think about that kid. Think about that kid who now really wants to do some plastic injection or plastic surgery. They have to, if this is a whatever, like a 14-year-old, now he or she, they have to, and by the way, it's not just girls, it's more prevalent in girls, but it's not just girls. So now that kid has to um, convince their parents to give them the money to go ahead and do this and do this
Yeah.
this thing
Mom,
for
can
them.
I have chocolate ice cream for dinner? No. Mom,
Can I
can I stay up till 1 a.m.? No. Mom, can I get plastic surgery? Okay.
let me ask your dad. So
Yeah, wait,
no,
what?
so the fun the I don't want to say funny, but it's like the strange thing is these parents, if they took them to the doctor to actually consider it, think about their situation. They're at a point where they have to acknowledge just how insecure and needy their child is in order to take them to do that, and they also have to be somewhat ignorant or not
We're completely ignorant.
oblivious to the
And
to
this is
the
this was the point of the violins on the Titanic, meaning that the ship is sinking and we're just like, okay, I'll take you to the plastic surgeon. Like let me not deal with the fact that the ship is sinking,
Mm,
right? The ship is sinking. Let's
mm.
deal with that. Um,
Change of mind, man. Change of consciousness. It's the only thing. That again,
okay.
that's why we need to educate ourselves too,
Okay,
not
okay.
just our
So they
children.
say they
Yeah.
say that the best thing we can do to help the kids is that we can get them off their phones. And I'm going to say that if you try and take drugs away from a drug addict, good
Mm-hmm.
luck. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to take the phones out of the kids' hands. What we're going to do and what we can do is start to feed them good content. What we can do is start to give them other things to do. For example, you're a mom or you're a dad, start cooking some, make cookies, bring them with you, talk to
Mm-hmm.
them while you're doing it,
Yeah.
say to them when they're annoyed, say to them, oh my god, sometimes I get so annoyed or sometimes I get so angry, right? These are all
Yeah.
parts of us on purpose. We do not throw out our nature. We need to learn about who we are. If you're
Yes.
dad, you're doing
Yes.
something, I don't know, pull into a parking lot and let the kid drive around the parking lot with you. I mean, I don't know if that's legal to say that, but and speak to him, just relate to them on something
Bro,
and begin.
technology could be such an assistance, if we use it correctly. Now go ahead, man. It's just my
Because
mind is exploding with examples of what we
so
can do
explode onto
with
the screen. Go ahead.
I mean, look, the very basic thing you can do with all of these phones recording everything is just, even kids in kindergarten record some of their activities and show them afterwards how they behave. Just think about the psychological benefit of that, the learning experience of seeing how you behave from outside and talking about it and discussing it and understanding why you did certain things the way you did. Think about virtual reality. Think about turning all of those violent, gory games into teaching experiences that are completely immersive, with like whatever, like the haptic suits and all of the, all of the gadgetry available to make the experience of learning about cell biology, or whatever it is, in this immersive reality. Think about how you would dive into, I'm just really going stream of consciousness here, right? But think about how you would go into the cells in the human body to learn about what it means to be a
Yeah.
cell.
Yeah.
Think you could do all of these things. We could do all of these things. Think about apps, instead of this ridiculous addiction that kids have to TikTok and Facebook and all of those algorithms that are only trying, their only goal is to keep them glued to the platform. That's the algorithm. That's what the algorithm wants to do. Show you
They
more
know
things, get you.
if you scroll slowly on something, they
They
know
know
what you scroll
everything.
slowly on. If you zoom in on something, they know what you zoom in
and
on. And
and you're
all
a,
they're
and
doing,
if you're
there's
a
no judgment.
child
Just
and if you're a child, you can't compete against this AI that does everything that it knows much better than you about yourself, and it gives you the next recommendation and the next suggestion and the next notification, all in order to keep you hooked to that thing, so you'll become a potential buyer in a few years. Or we can already send, sell your data so we can market something to your parents, whatever it is. But the point is that if you took the same kind of technology and you would allow whatever kids from around the world to go beyond language and create some visual, musical production together, just for the sake of getting to know each other and going beyond boundaries, going beyond cultures, beyond languages. Think about the amazing things that we can do today with the virtual reality and with the technology that we have. And the incentive is all wrong. So what happens is that these devices just become weapons. They become
so let's
weapons of
let's
addiction
give
and
practical
yeah.
advice to everybody here. Okay? So here's some practical advice.
Oh, we're becoming parenting tips givers. Not bad.
Small
Okay.
increments over
Okay.
long periods of time. Okay? Small increments or large increments, but let's start with small increments over large periods of time. We are in a system.
Yeah.
There's laws in the system. It's on purpose that we constantly feel that we're failing. It's on purpose that we constantly feel that we're confused. It's on purpose that we feel that we're up against something that's bigger and more powerful than us. And all of that is specifically to give us to make us look in the right place for the right answer. Because the minute you can be on your knees crying for help, and then the heavens open, millions of dollars of cash fall onto your head, and you forget about what you were praying for a minute ago because your your lower needs are just filled. So the emptiness, the confusion, all of those things are actually what are developing us. So let's not be overwhelmed by those things. Let's keep coming together. Let's keep supporting each other through those things, and understand that small increments in the right direction is how nature develops. And then we'll see what's the difference between a sperm of Albert Einstein and Albert Einstein, right? Like, how hard did that guy need to work in order to become Albert Einstein? No, he just was a seed of Albert Einstein and then a grown Albert Einstein. It's the same thing with all of our thoughts in this right direction. Nature's supporting us. Nature supporting us. How many billions of dollars would it take to oh, we're going to take this seed and we're going to grow it into a guy? No, nature will do everything. We're in a system, a huge system full of endless power. We just need to continue day by day to put ourselves in the right direction. Nature has no problem with time. Don't worry about time. I mean, we need to feel the pressure that it's on us now to do this, but that's also part of our perception. Nature doesn't have a problem with time. Day after day, we need to just keep moving together as a mass, organizing ourselves more and more. And then all of a sudden, on the planet, vegetation forms. And then all of a sudden, on the planet, animals form. And that's what's going to happen with us. All of a sudden, a spiritual reality is going to form because day after day, we're all moving in the right direction. We're all organizing ourselves in the right direction. And maybe it's a good thing that millions of dollars aren't falling out of the sky onto our head, because then we all would just go back to, I mean, I hope you all get millions of dollars anyway if you want, but that we would just go right back into our comfortable animal life. We would lose this movement forward. We would go back to just playing the music on the Titanic while the ship sunk, and then we can, I don't know, try and build a raft out of money or something. I don't know. Nothing is going to save us anymore except our good connections.
And the revolution is coming, I would say. It's on its way. It's happening right now as we speak. It is inevitable. The inevitability of evolution is what we are experiencing. Now, we can either experience the wrath of evolution if we try to resist it or misunderstand it, or we can try to understand where it's going. And the more we understand, the more we agree with where it's going, then we're going to feel evolution as a ride, as an adventurous ride, as a good ride. But a huge transformation has to happen. Definitely has to happen. And education is at the core of it.
Denise, can I make an
Yeah,
announcement for a minute?
sure.
Denise,
Make it away.
Denise. So everybody knows Bright. He was with us for 70 shows, and Denise has been with us. Denise, I think, is having her baby now, or she's about to have her baby, so she's not with us today.
All right.
Uh,
It's
yeah.
yeah, it's somewhere
So
like very
Chris is pulling
close.
double duty, producing and also keeping an eye on the chat. So thank you, all of our friends from Miami, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Minnesota, Israel, Finland, Cairo, Hikiko, Washington, Netherlands, Utah, North Carolina, Quebec, Ontario, Spain, Finland, and we said Finland, yes, and all of our friends who are with us. We see you all. We see everybody. We always talk about it
We
after the
also
show.
have England and Denmark with us today as well. Yes.
Thank you. So after the show, Chris, Saf, and I always speak about the show, and we're always talking about how amazing, what a cool environment is happening in the chats. It's just very, very unique that everybody's so loving and caring and open towards each other. We love seeing it, and we're so happy that everybody is with us. We'll see you again on, today is Sunday.
And
We'll see
we
you.
have a gift surprise. Wait a second. I almost did something wrong there.
You
Okay,
got it?
we also have, yeah, I got it. Okay, we
Let's
also
go.
have a surprise for you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
So no, just finish your
All right.
finish
So
your
everybody, we're doing it together. We'll be with you all the way, hand in hand, arm in arm. We'll see you Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Asaf, thank you. You inspired me, made me feel happy and purposeful again. Thank you, Chris, behind the scenes, and thank you, everybody. It was great to be together.
and check out this new music video from Seth Brightman and friends, and Tash and Aaron and other friends who I don't know all the names right now. So Ilan Golan is the one who produced the video. So check this out.
Take our first breath, to take our first action, to be alive on what is left, to float above the light, on just to ask, to be in love with Skin up my heart from egoistic thoughts. Learning all the lessons that this pressure gave us. Wanna save myself, I gotta save my neighbors. Slowly recognizing egoistic nature. Showing us connection is the only savior. We gon' come together, plow these fields of hatred. All is one with sowing seeds of love relations.
To shatter these walls, unsettle this heart from the chains of time. Then we soar through oceans in the sky. Oh, through your cold, to be in love with you, watch you with a bird's eye. See the world is built with you.
In a field that is blessed, then to come home with you and rest. Just to hunt in a field that is blessed, then to come home with you and rest. Only love can save us. Viruses, the hatred, unity gon' vaccinate us. True immunity from all the things that separate us. Everything is only for the good, it's all to change us. Yeah, so with tears and we reaping joy. Ego is the evil seeking to destroy. Education covering the hate with love. Revelation blessings raining from above. Just to hunt in a field that is blessed.